What is going down? What the fuck is going down? It is your boy, Studio MacGyver, and you are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. If you're new to the show, welcome to the podcast, guys. If you're into video games, if you are into anime, nerd culture, then we talk about all of that shit here, and you come to the right place. So let's get started. I have a lot to go over today, guys. A lot of things to be excited about, actually, especially those people who have not had a chance, like myself, to purchase a PS5 or an Xbox Series X. Going to talk about that. Definitely going to be talking about Biomutant. I've had extensive time with the game, and I have a lot to talk about when it concerns that game because the reviews have been everywhere. Okay, up, down, left, right, whatever you want to fucking call it, like a goddamn video game code. I'm going to talk about all of that and my personal thoughts on the game thus far. I've had about 35 plus hours in the game, so it's pretty safe to say I have pretty much figured out the main course of the game, how it plays, all of that shit. So I can't wait to dive into that. I'm going to let everybody know how I feel about it. And if you're a fighting game fan, it's really a really good thing, especially in 2021. We've got a lot of dope fighting games on the horizon. We've got the Kimetsu no Yaiba, aka the Demon Slayer game, coming, which looks awesome, by the way. And we have a couple other games. One in particular I want to talk about that I'm extremely excited about, and I'll get into that as well. And then I'm also going to talk about the Nintendo Switch a little bit. Yes, the Pro thing is a thing. Is it real? I'm going to talk about that. Also, Sonic. All my Sonic the Hedgehog fans, all my Sega fans out there, going to talk about that. There's plenty to talk about when it comes to Sonic, and I can't wait to dive into that as well. And then we got Far Cry. Yes, Far Cry 6, the gameplay. There's gameplay out there now, guys. I'm excited about that. I want to talk about my thoughts on that as well. So without further ado, guys, let's get into the motherfucking show. All right. First, I want to, I guess, address. Let's see. What should I start first? I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence on where I should start. I think I'm going to start with Nintendo. Yeah, let's talk about Nintendo. Let's get them out of the way. I'm a little pissed at Nintendo. If you guys listened to last week's podcast, then you understand some of their decisions that they make haven't been favorable. I don't know. They do what they want to do, and they don't give a fuck about anything else. I mean, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. They're not scared, and sometimes that can end up being a detriment to the company. And I've talked about that last week. If you haven't heard last week's episode, definitely listen to that. And before I really dive into the show today, I just want to let everybody know, log on to www.studiomaguyver.com. There you can get all and everything Studio MacGyver, guys. You can get all of my handles there, my Twitter, my Facebook, Instagram, all those things and more. You can even download free music that I've done personally myself. I have a Dragon Ball song for the new listeners who don't know, just expressing my love for Dragon Ball, man. I had to do a song a while back, and it's there for you guys to listen and download if you like on SoundCloud. So yeah, all of that stuff and then some. Go to StudioMguyvR.com. You can also get hoodies, hats. You can get coffee mugs or whatever. Anything that you purchase will definitely go towards supporting this show, and it would be much appreciated. So with that out of the way, let me jump back on Nintendo, and let's get into that. Now, when it comes to Nintendo, everybody's been talking about the new Nintendo Switch Pro, if it's going to be called the Pro. That's not the name actually set in stone right now, but I think it's safe to say that this is a thing. It is going to happen, and they are going to reveal the new device at E3. Like I told you guys before, June is going to be a magical month for a lot of us gamers out there because we're going to get a lot of new information. Hopefully, we're going to get some release dates on a lot of these games that we have no clue about. And that's the thing that everybody should be paying attention to. So by the time June is over, we will all know a whole lot more. And I cannot wait till E3 is over. I'm going to have a huge show. I'm going to cover everything there involved in that. And I'm going to let you guys know what to look out for. I'm going to let you guys know what I love, what I want to play. And we're going to do it like that. But the Nintendo Switch Pro is a real thing. Okay, and it is coming. And be on the lookout for that at E3. Not much more information on that, but you can definitely look to pay more than the $299 price for what this system is going to entail, because supposedly this system is just going to be a 4K device, and it's not going to be necessarily a new system, because Nintendo would be stabbing themselves, stabbing all their fans in the neck if they did that. But basically, it's going to be a pro version, if you will. Maybe the games run a little bit better, and like I said, 4K, you'll get that, and then maybe some other bells and whistles, but that has yet to be seen, and we'll see how that goes. That's all the information I have right now with Nintendo, but definitely be on the lookout for that because there's going to be more intel in the future. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is something that I didn't let you guys in on. I didn't mention before the show began, and I'm talking about we got some beautiful, beautiful gameplay from Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West, or shall I say Forbidden West. And the shit is fucking, it looks amazing. It looks fucking beautiful. I have to say that it's about 14 minutes of gameplay. If you guys haven't seen that gameplay, I urge you guys to check it out on YouTube. And you can check out the video in all its beauty if you like to. It's very crisp, and it's just giving you an idea of what to offer, what's coming up with the new system. I mean, you have those cutscenes and the beautiful cutscenes. This looks like a moving, walking, talking cutscene is all I can say. And they did a beautiful job on the first one. The first one is a classic in my eyes. The lore, everything about that game, the beautiful backdrops, everything in its entirety of that game was dope. I played it to, I played the shit out of it. I got the hidden suit that was there. That was one of my primary goals. I actually love the suit. I'm wondering if that's going to make a comeback in this game. Who knows? I'm sure they have some dope shit in store for us with this game, but I did watch the 14-minute gameplay, and it starts out with the main character in a whole nother area. I think it's San Francisco is the area, and it just looks breathtaking, man. I mean, and she's basically confronted by not just the creatures, the robotic slash the dinosaurs who are basically made of mechanical parts or whatnot, but now there's actually human opponents, human individuals that are actually writing these things, kind of like how she was in the first game. And also it's a lot of, from what I've seen, there's going to be a lot of human on human combat. That's different. That's kind of new, and I'm anxious to see how that turns out. But from what I've seen on the demo, it looks dope. So it looks like you're not just going to be having to fight the actual creatures. That's going to be the big portion of it, but I think there's also going to be other characters that you encounter, which you already get to see in this demo, but you're also going to encounter other players who are quite powerful, man, in their own right. You know what I'm saying? They're basically Aloy walking around here with their own weapons and whatnot, because in the beginning she has a friend who was apparently part of her squad or whatever, and he's captured, and she's basically, it's a rescue mission, and she rescues him, and he's you catch him saying to the guys that captured him, he's saying, you guys wouldn't be talking this shit if I had my axe, his weapon or whatever it was. So apparently he's working with something, and you may get to see that, you may get to witness that in this game when you actually play it. But we did get to see this gameplay, but the bigger story in this whole situation, in my opinion, and probably a lot of you guys' opinion, is when they showed it off, they basically talked about how they can't wait to show us more in the coming months or whatever. But one thing they left out of this 14-minute gameplay demo was the fucking release date. Okay, now that turned most of everybody's heads, because that's the most important thing. Everybody wants to know when this is coming out. And I told you guys time and time again that this game, Final Fantasy 16 and God of War Ragnarok, those are the ones you need to keep your eyes on, because those release dates are going to be key in how the future of PlayStation is taking off, so to speak. And I say that because as you all know, guys, most of us have not had an opportunity to get our hands on one because it's just very hard to come by. You know what I mean? You have to basically jump through hoops, and you have to hope and have a 4-leaf clover in your back pocket and more just to get a chance to get one. I had a friend of mine who was upset with his wife because she claimed that she was the messiah of Target, and she does all her shopping at Target. When things came out, like what women tend to buy, there were these lug boots or some shit, or sandals that were supposedly hot, and nobody could get their hands on it. And she has a Target account, so she said she was able to come up with that. So she told him, hey, I got this, don't worry, just relax. I'm just stay on the cart. When it shows up, put it in your fucking cart, and then cash it out. So he trusted her, and he had it in his cart, and right when he went to try to pay for it, guess what? He was not logged in. She didn't have him logged in. So of course, by the time she got him logged in, it was already gone. Okay, so she dropped the ball, she fumbled, whatever you want to call it, and he was a little bit upset, man. You know what I mean? Because she was doing all that boasting and it never happened. But that's just one out of a million problems as far as trying to get your hands on these systems, guys, because it's just hard right now. And unless you want to pay that scalping price, and most of us don't want to do that. And if you're smart, you won't. You just sit back and you'll wait, because, like I said before, there's not any real reason outside of if you're a huge Demon Souls fan, or maybe even a Ratchet and Clank guy, to be worried about a PlayStation 5. Now the Xbox, on the other hand, that's another story in a sense, because they don't really have any games out of their studios right now, but they do have the Game Pass, which is dope. And if you already have an Xbox machine like the Xbox One or something like that, right now you don't really have to feel pressured to get that. That's just my humble opinion. Until the games start rolling out, until these first party games start rolling out, I'm not going to get too nervous, because I'm living off of that backlog, and I'm living off of games that are still yet to come on the current system. I shouldn't say current, I should say last gen now. I guess PS4 and Xbox One are considered last gen, but yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And that's where we're at on that. But Horizon Zero Dawn, with no release date for that title, it makes me nervous, and I'm wondering if it's going to make 2021. I'm really wondering that, and I'm not going to be really surprised if it doesn't. That's the crazy thing about it, because I think part of the reason why these guys haven't put out a release date, and this is just me speculating, you know what I mean, I could be wrong, but, and this goes for not just them, but a lot of companies who are waiting to put out release dates for these titles. I think it's because of the fact that there's still millions of people out there that don't have access to these systems, and you want to capitalize, you want to fully capitalize on these games. These developers want to do, these investors and all these things, they want to fully capitalize on that. So if you're reading numbers on the paper and you're saying that, well, there's 10 million, PlayStations out there right now, this goes for Xbox as well, but there's still 20 million people who still want to buy one and still trying to get one. What does that say to your game, that is about to release? If I'm a company who's making a title, and I'm trying to capitalize as much as I can off of that game, I'm trying to make sure that everybody, I have a way to totally capitalize on that. In other words, I want as many people to buy that product as I can possibly have. And when you have only a certain amount of systems out there, and then on top of that, a big portion of those systems that are out there aren't even occupied by users because they're being held by scalpers and bots and whatnot, then that's going to present a problem if you're trying to sell a game. If you put out a game on a system that there's plenty of people, millions, that haven't had it and would like to have one, that's going to be a problem. You're not going to sell those games. And if you're a scalper and you're scalping these systems, yeah, you bought the system, but who are you going to have to play the actual games? Who are you going to have to buy the accessories? There's not going to be many people because they don't have the system. So that is a problem, and I think these companies realize that, and I think what they're trying to do now, if you guys don't remember, I mentioned some weeks back that Sony is actually trying to, well, they've already done it actually. They've reconfigured a part inside of the PlayStation 5s to basically streamline their production. So basically the parts that are kind of scarce right now, they basically went into the boardroom and said, okay, what can we do to capitalize or change this and making more PlayStation 5s accessible to everybody? So they decided to do some things inside. I'm not a technician. I'm not I don't know about those technical aspects of how the systems are made, but I do know there has been a change made, and it's going to help Sony. I don't know about Xbox. I think they're not doing anything in that regard, but I know Sony for a fact is, and they already have, and they're already pushing play, and it's starting to, they're starting to produce these things so they can kick them out. So most likely the rest of us out here, or the majority of us, will probably have that version of that PlayStation 5. Now, the information I did get on that, which was very little, was something to do with how it connects to the routers. And it's supposed to be actually a little bit better than the base PlayStation 5s as far as connectivity. Not much, not to where, it's a game changer. It's a difference. Most people won't even notice, but that little component that was changed, that is what they needed to change to actually streamline the production. So I think that's the problem, and I think we're going to see a lot of release dates for 2022 as opposed to 2021, especially these major AAA games. I think that's what we're going to see because they know if Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West comes out as of right now, I mean, as far as them selling the copies of the game, it's not going to be good. They're not gonna; those numbers aren't going to look right. Those investors are not going to be happy, and there's going to be a lot of discrepancies in the report, and that is why. So they're trying to get out as many systems as they possibly can before these games release. That's just the way I'm looking at it. That's what I think is going to happen, and I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it totally makes sense. If I had 10 cardboard boxes, and for whatever reason they were going to sell and make me a lot of money, but I only had 10. And I said, okay, here's 10 of them. Let's put them out there. And out of those 10, you know what I mean? Only 3 people got it. The other 7 scalpers got them. And the scalpers are like, well, I'm going to sell this for double the price. Guess what? Most people are going to say, I'm not going to pay that. And they're just going to be sitting there. So at least 5 of those are still sitting in somebody's closet, somebody's house. And if an accessory came out for that 10 pieces of, cardboard that I put out, guess what? You're not going to be able to capitalize on all 10 pieces. You're going to come up short. Okay. You're only going to sell maybe 4, you know what I mean? Around 4. And then you want to sell at least 8 or 9, you know what I mean? So that's a lot of money if you break it down through that lens. So that's what I think is going to happen, guys. So just don't get too excited yet as far as 2021 and the games that have been announced for 2021, because like I said, that's probably going to change. But Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West looks beautiful, and I definitely can't wait to get my hands on that game and play it. It will be a day one buy if I get my PlayStation 5 before it comes out. Hopefully I will, and we'll go from there. You know what I mean? Anybody out there listening to this podcast want to help a kid out, want to send me an Xbox or or a PlayStation 5 or some shit like that, if you're out there listening, you got one extra one, hey, reach out to your boy, social media, and we could definitely work something out. That's just me shooting for the sky. That's just me shooting in the dark. You know what I mean? Wishing upon a star, if you will. But I'm being funny for the most part. But yeah, I mean, definitely want to play this game. If you haven't seen the footage, if you haven't seen the 14-minute video, please go check it out on YouTube. It's there. It's everywhere. You can't fucking miss it. All right, getting off of that, and let's get on to something else. Something else I want to talk about, and let's talk about Far Cry 6. Far Cry 6 gameplay has been out there, has been released in the past week. Got a chance to look at a lot of different aspects of this game, and I'm not a first-person game player. Like, I don't play a lot of first-person games. That's just not my forte, but there are some that I play, and the Far Cry series is one of those. Okay, I pretty much own every Far Cry game from 3 and beyond. And I love those games. I love the stories for the most part, and I love those worlds. And Far Cry 6 looks to be no different. It's basically their version. It's coming out. I think it's going to come out on all platforms right now. I mean, PlayStation 4 as well as Xbox One. But, I want to play that on the new systems, one of the new systems, whatever one I get first. It looks breathtaking. It looks like it's going to be dope. And there's a lot of things to love about this game. I mean, when you heal yourself, you're sitting there with a cigar, and you actually put the cigar out on your wound and try to burn it to kind of seal it up or whatever. Just little things like that makes me want to play this game that much more. I don't know, you just have to watch the gameplay to understand what I'm trying to convey here, because words alone will not do it justice. I'm telling you right now, this game is going to be dope, and this is one of the only first-person games that I am really, really looking forward to playing, and I can't wait to talk more about it when we get more information. But that is the thing. I mean, all these things are starting to come on the horizon. We're starting to see all this stuff, man, and it's getting close. Summer is really a big gaming season, if you will, for games to come out and things to start happening. Like I said, the E3 thing, we're going to get a lot of news. I cannot wait to cover that for you guys and discuss all the games and whatnot. So I'm looking forward to that in every major way possible. All right. Let me talk a little bit more. Well, not more. Let me talk a little bit about Sonic. Sonic, huge Sonic the Hedgehog fan. Love Sega. You guys know this if you're, been listening to this podcast. Sega's some of my favorite systems. The Sega Saturn is one of my favorite all-time systems. I have the Sega Saturn. I have the Sega Dreamcast. I just love Sega. And Sonic is he's like Mario to a lot of us, with the Sonic franchise, Sega franchise, I'm sorry. And they're doing a lot. They got a lot going. And I'm, surprised this didn't happen sooner, but hey, better late than never, I always say. And one of the few things that I've witnessed, because they have a 30th anniversary coming up, but one of the things that, caught my attention was some of the older games, like some of the best Sonic games out here, like Sonic Colors, if you guys don't remember that, and then Sonic CD. These games are getting remastered. These games are going to be coming out soon. So we're going to be getting those games. And I'm so excited for that, guys. I cannot wait to jump in these and see what they're all about. Also, they're literally working on a new 3D Sonic game. Okay, it's in development right now. It's been in development for some time. Word is in these video game streets that they are telling the devs to basically take your fucking time. Like, don't rush anything. If you need more time, if you need more money, if you need more developers, let us know and we will provide them to you. We want this shit to be A1. Do not give any release date information, period, until it is 110% complete and you guys have 100% faith in this game that it's going to be ready. And I can't wait to see what this is about. A new 3D Sonic game, that's going to be dope. Now, a lot of people, under the covers are talking about this could be Sonic Adventure 3. Okay, and Sonic Adventures was definitely a dope ass game, a classic. Both 1 and 2 were dope games, and those are, I think, Dreamcast games. And if they're going to do a open world Sonic game, I can't wait to see what this is going to be about. Just imagine a new Sonic game like on the, Xbox or the fucking PlayStation, the new ones. It's going to be sick. It's going to be crazy, and it's slated for 2022. This Sonic 3D game. So they've been working on this for some time, and more information is going to come out. I think they're going to drop some more information on us during E3. Like, it's just going to be so much shit coming out of E3. I mean, I may have to cover E3 2 weeks. It may take me 2 episodes to cover everything that I want extensively for you guys. But that's cool. More content for me to discuss and talk about, the better. You know what I mean? So I'm very excited for that. And I hope you guys are too, especially all my Sonic heads out there. I'm actually looking for a Sega decor, a Nintendo decor to put in the man cave. I've seen them when I go to, like, not GameStop, but when you go to the mom and pop store, sometimes you'll see them, the logos and stuff. They'll be up there, some glow in the dark and all that. I'm looking at some of those to add to the man cave, and the man cave is going to be pretty spiffy, guys. I'm working on it slowly but surely. I actually have a couch coming tomorrow. So me and my boy Nate, we're gonna get together, and we're going to. He's really good at putting shit together, man. Anytime I need anything put together, man, I call him, and he's right there. He has skills, but he's going to help me put it together. And I keep telling you guys, I'm going to give you a small tour of the man cave where everything goes down and how I, do everything and how I get down, man. And I can't wait to do that. I just want to make sure that it's right and set up properly. And I think this will be the final touch amongst a couple other things that are easily attainable. But once I do that, guys, I'll definitely do a video and give you guys, a look inside the man cave and where everything goes down here, for the StudioMguyvR, man. But yeah, excited for Sega, excited for the Sonic shit, and I cannot fucking wait to give you guys more information, no doubt. All right, I want to talk about one of my second favorite genre in video games, and that is, if you know me, but for those who don't, it's the fighting game genre. Okay, I love my fighting games. I love them to fucking death. Now, if you guys have been hiding under a rock, but most fighting fans haven't, Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown has been announced. Okay, and Virtua Fighter is considered amongst, especially, overseas, considered to be the most technically sound fighting franchise out there, period. And looking at this gameplay, looking at what they've done, I can't deny them. I mean, there's nothing bad I can say about this. I'm so excited to play this. I haven't played Virtua Fighter in a long time. I love my Virtua Fighter games on the, Sega Saturn, and I can't wait to jump back in this. I really can't. But the thing that is even better is that if you guys are on the PlayStation Plus, if you have a PlayStation Plus account, guess what? You don't even have to fucking pay for it. Okay. And it's going to be free on PlayStation Plus for 2 months, not just fucking 1 month. Okay. What is it? June? Yeah, June 1st, right around the fucking corner, guys, is when it's going to hit. And it's going to be free for, I think, 2 straight months before you have to pay anything for it. And that's dope in its own right. And on top of all of that, this is stemming off of an older Virtua Fighter 5 game. I can't remember the name exactly, but it's not Ultimate. But it's stemming off of that. Is basically they redid this whole fucking game. Okay, think of like what they did with Shadows of the Colossus, the remake. All right, you got the basic engine there, and they basically gave it a whole facelift. So all the characters are remodeled, all the stages are remodeled, even the fucking UI is done different. So there's going to be a lot of things that they're bringing to the table. They've got their training mode, and one cool thing about Virtua Fighter, and especially this one, is you're not gonna miss out on your training modes and just modes in general. You're gonna have a lot of dope modes. Plus, the thing that I like the most is there's also a customization option for your characters. I think they're saying that that's gonna be later on as a DLC, if I'm not mistaken. But they actually have some gameplay showing off the customization of your characters. Like for a fighter, you might want to take your shirt off, or you might want to put a beanie on his head or some shit like that, and then change the colors on top of that. So you can make your fighter, spiffy as you fucking want, and that's just an added extra layer, especially for people like me who absolutely love customization. And I'll get into that on another game in a little bit, but that is going to be so sweet, and I can't wait to get my Virtua Fighter chops back right, guys. I can't wait. This one looks like a doozy, man. It looks like it's gonna be be nice, and I can't wait to play this one. And I don't know which character I'm gonna go with. I really don't. There's so many dope characters in Virtua Fighter. I'm gonna have a hard time trying to pick a main. May have to be 2 or 3 different characters. I don't know, but I will definitely keep you guys posted because it's right around the fucking corner. So for all my fighting fans out there, definitely check out Virtua Fighter 5. If you have PlayStation Plus, you don't have to pay a fucking dime. And I was ready to pay for it. I was literally ready to pay for this, and that's cool. And I'm also excited for the fact that they keep giving us stuff. They keep dropping jewels on us for the people who don't have access to these other systems. Because, I was worried for a while. I was like, well, not being able to have a new system, what are we going to do for new games? But the games are not coming right now. It's been slow motion. It's been a slow drip. So that's a kind of a plus, I guess, if you want to call it that. And then the fact that we're still getting other games, and then you have your backlogs and stuff like that too. So I've had plenty of things to play, and then I just don't play, PlayStation. I also play, my Nintendo Switch, which I need to get back on Monster Hunter Rise because I stopped playing it. I put in like 80 hours of that game, then I walked away from it for a while. But now we have the 3.0 update, and there's a lot of things with new monsters and things of that nature in there. And what comes new monsters, you also get new fucking weapons and things of that nature. So looking forward to jumping back in there eventually and going from there. But I'm excited about this Virtua Fighter shit, and you guys should be too if you're a fighting fan. So just be on the lookout for that right around the corner, June 1st, baby. All right. Now, here comes the main thing I want to talk about on this podcast, this show, this episode, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to talk about Biomutant. Now, Biomutant has been a long time coming. I have been singing this game's praises from day one, ever since I first saw the trailer in 2017. I was excited for this title. And I remember when the reviews came out, the embargo got lifted the day before it came out, which was the 24th. All right. And a lot of people shit on this game. Now, if you call 6 out of 10 shitting on a game, and I guess you can't technically call it that, but, a lot of people said they weren't feeling the game. And I even had a couple of friends tell me that they, that bought it. It just didn't do it for them. And that's fine. And that's totally okay. If you don't feel a game, you just don't feel a game. I mean, there's other games that friends I know play that I'm not into, like Ark and, other things like that. It's just, if it's not your cup of tea, it's just not your cup of tea. You know what I mean? But I think that the people who are, the reviewers out there who are giving this game 6s, I think they're smoking sherm. I mean, that's the nicest way I can say it. I think their sake glasses filled to the brim. I think that they have been rolling scrolls and smoking them and mixing it with their sake. Maybe even doing a line or two, on the table. I really believe that. I don't know what they're looking at. I don't know what they're seeing. I don't know what they hate so bad about the game. Now, look, I'm going to get into this, my thoughts and how I feel about the game as a whole. I played 36 hours, I think, so far. So, I mean, I'm pretty dug in there. And as far as the technical aspect of this game, that's the only bad thing I can say about this game. Is it's the technical aspect needs some kinks to be worked out. There are bugs in this game, frame rate issues, here and there from time to time. And I'm on a base PlayStation 4, by the way. So I've talked to friends who've had it on PC, and they said it's pretty buttery smooth for the most part. And then some with pros, and they say that it's okay for them as well there. But there are a couple hiccups here and there. And I think that stuff can be worked out easily through patches. And also on that same note, they've already reached out to us, Biomutant and Experiment 101, and basically told us that they already have stuff in development in the works right now, updates coming that's going to remedy a lot of these things, and that is a good thing. And I remember in the interview before the game came out, when they asked him, was it going to be online play or multiplayer, anything like that, the guys basically said, no, there's not plans for that, but our main focus is this game and basically fixing anything and everything, and making it the best game we can make it. And they're talking about post-production. So I remembered what he said when I started playing the game. Now, the score I'm giving this game right now, in my opinion, is a 9 out of 10. And it would be a 10 out of 10, or at least a 9.5 if it wasn't for the technical aspects of the game. Just the frame rate drops from here and there. I mean, I'm just being honest. I'm not going to pull any punches on this. I mean, that's really my only quarrel with this game. And you got to keep in mind as well, I mean, a lot of people are bitching and moaning about the price because this isn't a AAA game studio. This studio is an indie studio of 20 people. 20 people made this game. They worked on it at least 8 years. And to get it to where this is and to build the world that they've built, I have to give them nothing but kudos. And I have to take my hat off to these guys, man. I'm so proud of these guys and what they were able to do with this game because, I was playing with a friend a few days ago, and we were just in a party. I'm not playing with him; it's not multiplayer, but he was basically saying that to him, it's an open world exploration, experience, because there's a lot of things in this game that I appreciated. And one of the things being, as big as the world was, it was a lot bigger than I thought that it was. Like, yeah, it's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. I mean, I got the numbers on, but it's, getting the numbers and playing within the numbers is two different things. You know what I mean? The vibe and the feeling that I got from this game, the game is huge. The world is big. And one thing I do love about this world, opposed to, other companies or other games in the same category, is the fact that they purposely, have a lot of areas in this game where you're not going to be fighting people. You're just going to be exploring, and you're going to be, running on the open world and discovering things, and just every nooks and crannies and underground, areas and the railroads and things of that nature. Like, just the way that they built this world is phenomenal in my opinion. And they did that so that, you could just kind of explore a lot too. And you'll be in the middle of a field just running, and then you'll stumble upon like a little hut, and it'll be a person there, selling some clothes or whatever, maybe selling some weapons or something like that. It's just beautifully placed. Everything is placed in dope little places. It's just fun to just run around in this world. I don't know how else to explain it. Sometimes I run for miles and not see an enemy. And I'm just in awe of the world, just little backdrops, stumbling upon, old suburban neighborhoods, you know what I mean? And then going into a house and going to the basement of that house, and then that basement turning into something else and leading me to another area. It's crazy, like the way that they've done it. And I really appreciate that about this game. Another thing I really appreciate about this game is, of course, the customization. The customization in this game is stupid, and that's a good thing. Okay, I mean, taking a fucking, taking a golf club, a piece of a golf club, and then sticking like a razor blade or some crazy shit at the end of it, and then adding like some spikes or some shit on top of that for more damage. Like, just, I mean, if your mind can imagine it, most likely it probably is in this game. I mean, and different combinations you can make, especially with the guns and how those things work as well. It's crazy, man. And I was just playing the game, doing my own thing and discovering shit. And the discovery is what I really love about this game too, because, you know, I was watching some YouTube videos and they were talking about this weapon that you can get. It's an ultimate weapon. It's like this blade, and it has like 125 fire damage on it. And I already had the weapon. And I was laughing to myself because I discovered this on my own. I was just out here doing shit, and I went to this lighthouse and I hit this light, and I followed where the light was shining, and then I found this cave, and in that cave was this fucking monster, kind of mini boss. Beat him, and then there was a puzzle, easily solved puzzle, and I solved it, and then I got access to this weapon, and it was just some discovery. So now it just made me think of, oh God, what else is out there? What else can I discover? What else can I find? You know what I mean? This world is set in a post-apocalyptic kind of backdrop, and basically, you know, us humans polluted the earth so bad to the point where, you know, it killed us. You know, it destroyed every human on the planet, and as a result of that, basically, you have the only things that survived were the rodents and the animals and things of that nature, and they basically they changed, and the state of the world was so bad and toxic that it made them basically reconstruct their genetic code, and they became all these other creatures, you know, and that's the world that these characters live in now. They have their own language, and you know, they use the things that were left to them to kind of move through the world, and that's kind of a beautiful tragedy. If I'm putting that, those are the words that I come up with in my mind, as far as how the game would look, or how it would convey, how it speaks to you, or at least speaks to me. You know what I mean? When you go into these abandoned houses and you see, you know, where people used to live and how people used to, you know, their daily routines and daily activities, and now they're gone, and you know, we're left to those devices now. And I just think I think it's dope. I really do. And I mean, you have people who, you're either gonna really love this game, or you're not gonna really feel it. I think this game is definitely gonna be a cult classic. It's definitely a classic in my eyes, and the people that I've talked to who really like the game, they love the game just as much as I do. You know, YouTubers like Dreamcast Guy, and there's some other ones out there, but they gave it, I think he gave it like 8.5. So there are some, you know, good scores out there. There are some 8.5, some 9s out there as well. And it's really about the individual, I think. I mean, you can't lie to yourself. I mean, if you like the game, you like the game. If not, you just don't. I mean, that's just what it is. So if you're still on the fence about picking this up, the best advice I could give you is just trust yourself. You know what I mean? Don't let reviewers, don't let people, you know, on social media dictate your movement. Don't let them, you know, deter you from buying this. If in your heart you feel you want to buy this, if you feel you want to play this. A lot of people, like I said before, bitched about, you know, how this is, they shouldn't have to pay $60 because it's not a AAA game. But I kind of beg to differ with that, because this studio of 20 people have worked on this game for 8 years. And if I bought this game, and if I bought it tomorrow and never played it or whatever, and from what I've played thus far, I mean, to me, it's worth a AAA title. I mean, everything that comes in AAA with a AAA game, this game has. I mean, you got replayability as well. I haven't gotten to that. I mean, I haven't even scratched the surface on things to do in this game. There's so much to do. Side quests out the wazoo. I mean, it's so crazy. So many things to discover. It's ridiculous, guys. I'm telling you right now, it is. Now, a lot of people say that, you know, that it can get repetitive, especially when you're dealing with certain aspects of the story and how the gameplay loop is being played. But that is what game doesn't have that in it? You know what I mean? There's always going to be a gameplay loop. There's always going to be some things that are repetitive in any game that you play. So to me, I don't even take that. I take that with a grain of salt, is what I do with that. So, and then you also got to keep in mind, I mean, these guys, they're 20 people in this game. I'm not trying to make excuses, but from what they have done, I mean, they've basically made a AAA type of game. I mean, this game feels AAA to me in a lot of ways, and they give you a lot of options, and it's just a huge world to explore. I mean, if you are into exploration and open world games, I mean, this game, I tell you right now, I highly recommend this game. I really do. If you're into like Breath of the Wild and those type of games, I mean, this game is definitely up your alley. It is, man. And if you're into customization, this is gonna be for you as well. I mean, I'm look, you may not like it as much as I do, or you may like it even more. But I love this game. I can sit here and tell you honestly that I want you guys. I want more people to play this game, discover this game, and a lot of people probably will, and they may not discover it until later. And I think why I call it a cult classic is because of that. I think this is going to be a game where a lot of people are going to pass on it now. But when it becomes $20, $25, when people start picking this shit up, they're going to discover that they should have bought it when they bought it, or they're just going to say, "Hey, I'm glad I'm playing it now." You know what I mean? We all have games like that in our library where we waited for whatever reason, and then when we got our hands on it, we ask ourselves, "Why did we wait? We would have paid full price for this." And I think this is one of those games it's going to be one of those games for a lot of people, in my humble opinion. I really do believe that, and I'm just glad that I have it. I own it, and I'm so glad that I'm still playing it. My PS4 is in rest mode now, so I'll kick this boy back into high gear. I've been real busy this weekend, but I am going to be playing more this week, and probably some Virtua Fighter 5 as well. But yeah, man, I mean, that's how I feel about the game in a nutshell. And I also have to say this, for the people who are bitching about the price of this game, think about some of these other games that we pay full price for, guys, and they were AAA games. Okay, I can give you one right off the fucking bat. I can tell you a game right now, and a lot of you guys listening probably already know the name of that game, and I'm talking about Cyberpunk 2077. That game was fucking broken, okay? But I still enjoyed myself as much as buggy as that game was, and as fucked up as it was. But this is a AAA game studio, okay? Millions of dollars pumped into this game, okay? All kinds of resources, that they had at their disposal for this game. And this is what we got. I haven't picked it up yet. Bought the strategy guide, all that shit, and have not picked it up because, there were so many things that were wrong. It made it, it was just a nuisance a lot of the time. You know what I mean? And I would just really like to enjoy that game as smooth and as I possibly could. So I'm not going to play it again until I get a chance to experience that. And I probably won't play it again until I get my PS5. I mean, that's just me being honest. A lot of things they promised on that game, they never delivered. They didn't deliver. They were under time constraints for whatever reason. They kept that from the investors. They kept that from the public. And, you saw the results of that. You know what I mean? So, I mean, these guys put this game out, and yeah, you got a few bugs here and there, but the game is still playable, very playable. And I enjoyed playing it. I literally enjoy playing this game. I love this fucking game. I mean, I love how my character looks. He looks awesome right now. I've got this mask, and I've got some dope little armor right now. It's just a dope game. It's so much you can do. There's so many things this game has to offer, guys. And I enjoy the quiet moments in this game just as much as I enjoy the combat. There's so many different layers to the combat as well, depending on how you want to go about it. Right now, me personally, I am a Deadeye, and I am rocking a sword, the flame sword that I told you guys I discovered and found, dope weapon. And then, I like my rifles. I like my regular rifle and my hunting rifle, so to speak. And then I also am enjoying my assault rifle. Okay. Those are my weapons of choice. And I'm sticking to that this playthrough. Next playthrough, I'm going to probably go Saboteur or Mercenary. Now, there's an issue right now with the Mercenary class. If you guys didn't know, if you pre-ordered the game, you were supposed to get that class for free as opposed to paying for it. And for whatever reason, which I did pre-order this game, so a lot of people on the PlayStation, I can only speak for, but we're getting fucked because we don't got that code. Okay, when I went to buy the game, they usually print that pre-order code on the receipt when you get your receipt, and it was not there. The guy at GameStop told me that for whatever reason, they're having an issue getting that code, and even the people who pre-ordered it on like download only had the same issue. A friend of mine did that, and he said that he couldn't get the it showed up, but he just couldn't download it for whatever reason. So that class wasn't showing for him. So they're trying to work that stuff out, and hopefully they do, because I kind of want to see what that mercenary class is about, and I don't want to pay for it if I don't have to, because I pre-ordered. I did, we should get that, and we shouldn't have to pay for that. So that's really the only two quarrels that I have with the game, with the bugs here and there, and a little bit of the frame rate drops here and there. Not often, but it happens. And the pre-order bonus. That's my only two quarrels with the game. I mean, everything else was dope. Everything else is fire to me. And like I said, I look forward to discovering more. And it's probably going to take me, no doubt, it's probably going to take me 100 hours before I feel like I've done enough in this game. And I probably won't, and that won't even be everything. That'll be a lot of things, but it won't be everything. And a lot of these guys have run through the game like in 16 hours, 17 hours, because they've done nothing but story quests. They didn't do any of the side missions or anything. So a lot of these reviewers who are talking, they're under, really, really tough time constraints, and they have to get these games played and get them out. And that's the thing that I have an issue with, too. If you're going to review the game, play the game and play it like you would go into playing it as an actual consumer would play it. You know what I mean? Sometimes they're crippled, in my opinion, on playing these games and only getting to see part of what the game is to offer. And playing these open world games with all these fucking side quests and missions, that adds so much texture to the experience. Things that are meant to be, some of these are meant to be discovered, to enrich your experience. And if they're not doing any of these quests and these missions, they're missing out on a shit ton. So for them, what they see is completely different from somebody like me who's actually dove in there and put in the work. You know what I mean? And that's an issue that I have with a lot of reviewers too as well. So that's, look, everybody has their own opinion. I'm not shitting on anybody if you don't like the game. I'm just saying that, give the game a chance. And also the first hour and a half of the game is really slow. It's just getting you started. But once you open, the world becomes, completely open to you, which is about around that time. Then that's when the meat and potatoes start to hit, and that's when you can kind of just do whatever the fuck you want, and that's what makes the game wonderful. I still enjoyed my time in the beginning, myself personally, even though I watched some YouTubers play that portion of it. I still enjoyed my playthrough on that aspect of it, but once you open up the game, it becomes another different beast, in my opinion. So if you're on the fence about getting this game, don't be. I got a homie out there, one of the guys who listens to the show. He goes by the name of Windsor. Windsor, what's up, boy? How you doing, man? He was on the fence about this game at first, and I basically told him, look, don't worry about reviewers. If in your heart you want to buy this game and you've been wanting to play this game, just play it. And he's enjoying himself. He trusted his gut. He went out there, he bought the game, and he's been chatting it up with me on Instagram and telling me, how much he's enjoying the game. And I'm so happy to hear, people talk and say those things about this game, because I feel the same way about this game. So I'd say that to say, just trust yourself. You know what I mean? If there's a game you want, don't worry about reviewers. So there's plenty of games out here that have gotten shitty scores that people fucking absolutely adore. I mean, that's just how it goes. Reviewers are kind of, for me, are out there for the technical aspects. I'm looking for more so the technical ups and downs of a game, as opposed to the actual experience, because everybody's experience is different and everybody has different tastes. That's how I try to look at video games. If it's a game that or a genre I don't really appreciate or I'm not really into, then I'm just not going to play that. You know what I mean? And that's just how I do it when it comes to my video game lifestyle. I don't know about you guys, but technical stuff is really all I'm about here, and that's about it. But I'm enjoying the game. If you're playing it, I hope you're enjoying the game. And if you haven't played it yet, and if you're on the fence, go pick it up, man. Give it a shout if you love open world games. I'm telling you right now, you won't be sorry. That's why I said, at the beginning, that I don't know what these reviewers are talking about. And I guess I can't down them because they don't like the game. But I don't think that a lot of them have really given this game a chance. But that's just me. You know what I mean? Who am I? I'm just a guy who has a little podcast and plays his little games and lives his life like that. I'm just that's me. And I'll leave it at that, man. I'm not going to talk any more about it. I've been rambling, I feel, about this game for a little too long anyway. And I'll pump the brakes and I'll get up off of it. But I think I've said enough. And that's my take on the game. I hope you guys enjoy it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode number 217. That's going to do it. I'm going to get out of here now. And I want to wish everybody a happy Memorial Day. I hope everybody barbecues and maybe games and, just have fun. You know what I mean? If you guys are off of work and don't have to go in, hey, more power to you guys. Enjoy your day. And I'm going to get out of here, man. I want to tell you guys I appreciate all the love. I appreciate all the support, all the downloads and listeners and streams that I'm getting. I've been doing this almost 5 years, and it's been a dream to do, man. It's been a pleasure doing this show for you guys, and I'm going to keep doing many more. So with that being said, I'm going to get out of here. This is your boy, Studio MacGyver, and you have been listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. See you next time.